Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one, guys, probably the biggest news I think maybe ever in the time I've been playing Champions. This dev diary that dropped, I think, will completely, or has the potential to completely change the game more than anything we've ever seen before. So I think it's worth covering and talking about because when we see big changes in the game, in our game in particular, we've got a lot of resistors, whether it was straps, metals, and stuff, where people say this is stupid, I'll never do it, and then you fall way behind. So when the game changes and changes huge, it usually behooves you to change with it, evolve or die, right? So I think this is really important. I think there's a lot of stuff here. Going to kind of read between the lines and give some thoughts on this and what could potentially happen. And I think the game needed this personally. I'll talk more about that as we go, though. So this is the dev diary. Dev diary. We know you expected 7-star, so 7-star is not happening. At least now. Champions. Many of you have been expecting a ceiling raise. We've seen the speculation, the requests, and the theory crafting, and we want to be straight with you. 7-star is not coming right now. Instead, we're doing something we think is better. I also think this is better, personally. Even though I don't know how it's going to look and what's going to happen, I think it's important because, well, let's read some more. Why? Because star raises doesn't solve real problems. They inflate numbers without evolving the fight. I actually agree with this completely. Everything is turn one, Hulk smash, just click a button and win. And all we've done for the past, 3 years, 2 years probably, is smash harder and faster with no skill whatsoever. So I agree with them, actually, that raising the ceiling actually doesn't fix any problems. Let's keep going. Video's there if you want to watch it. Go ahead and watch the video. So, hype. Our new system will be different. It gives control, stat impact, roster flexibility. Hype will reward players who think about more than raw damage. What does hype actually do? Hype is a stat-based power system that rewards control, strategy, and roster investment. You'll start with new stats on your superstar that influence, this one is huge, starting turn. So far in our game, whoever's went first, whoever's on offense has always went first. Defense has always went second. That has made any kind of like real PvP basically impossible because whoever goes first wins almost all the time. So with this starting turn potentials, I look at it like a speed stat when I hear starting turn. There's also total damage, defense, and kick out efficiency. So I think depending on how, everything depends on balance, right? Initially I read it and I think starting turn, okay, that's going to be the money stat. I go first, I'll still win. But I think if it's balanced again right, you have to spread your points between how fast you go, how much damage you do, how much defense you have, and your kickout efficiency. So theoretically, let's say I put all of, and we don't even know what this is going to look like yet, so this is just completely speculation on my point. But let's say I put all of my juice in starting turn. I go first, but they've put a bunch of their stuff in defense and total damage. I might hit like a wet noodle. I don't know, right? So this gives the ability to potentially try and make a go first character where you go first and win. You know, you're like a glass cannon. You're doing starting speed and all damage. You don't worry about defense, kick out efficiency. Or maybe you're trying to build a go second character, somebody that's got defensive properties built in, whether it's, protect, gems, kick out, whatever. This actually adds a lot to, let's say, a kick out too, because then you can completely ignore your kick out efficiency if they have a kick out move, and then you could just stack up on defense and damage completely, ignore your starting turn, right? So they go first, you're max defense with total damage and a kick out move, you kick out, and then, you Hulk smash. So it's actually super, super interesting. I can't wait to see the possibilities with this. For someone, to me, honestly, the game has been fairly stale and boring for about a year, maybe longer, because the cards have gotten so good. It's literally just the only thing that makes it better is if they're a little bit faster. Very so. This to me is huge, but I think a lot of people are going to hate this. Simply because everybody is used to going first, and now you won't necessarily go first. So you're going to have to change the way you approach the game, and I think that's a good thing, personally. 2 unlockable tiers for now. Have no idea how this is going to work. Hopefully it's not super paywalled and whale gated and garbage like that, but it is a gacha game, so wouldn't surprise me. But I really, really hope they let people mess with their stats and compete, you know, on a similar level. It's really also going to be super interesting what this does to cards we already have. You know what I mean? Um, will some have higher starting stats? Will they all be the same starting stats? We don't know. Collectible hype points for each superstar, plus wildcard hype points. Extra boost on these stats based on the class wheel. I think this is also great. Generally, like PvP games and stuff, the rock, paper, scissors formula is really good, where, like, you know, one thing has an advantage against another thing. It keeps things more interesting, fresh, balanced, potentially. So if the stats boost better based on, you know, which class is strong against another class, that just adds another layer of strategy. So that is potentially pretty cool. A feud war score reward when your hyped up superstar loses on defense. I'm assuming that means when your superstar wins on defense? Why would you get points for losing? That doesn't really make sense to me. Why I would get points for losing on defense? So I think that's like a typo, but I don't know about that. And yes, stat boosts that matter. That's important to me. Like I said, much more thinking it out. And here you can see not just plus 5% damage. We're talking about turn order, match control, survivability, and build diversity. I've always said, like, this kind of stuff, you give me the option to mess around, try different things, and come up with new stuff. That's what I want. This is really, really awesome on paper. Let me clarify, because I have no idea. I have no inside info on this. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know stat balancing, nothing. I have nothing here other than what we're reading. Why this is a foundation. We know this isn't the fireworks moment some of you were hoping for. Actually, I mean, disagree with that. For me, this is a firework moment. I think this is a turning point in Champions. I think the game is completely changing with this. So to me, it is a firework moment. 7-star would have changed nothing. Really. It's just more of the same. But anyway, we know this isn't the fireworks moment some of you were hoping for, and we get that. But hype is just the start. Something we can build new systems, modes, and reward paths on top of it. I don't really care about the reward paths. I care about the new system in the modes. To keep the game fresh and interesting, and move out of this, like, one-click, you know, have enough bananas I could train a monkey to play my roster, right? So we're already working on a wildcard system for more control over who you upgrade. Potentially worried about the upgrade system, like how it'll happen. You know, is it going to require tons of spending to upgrade somebody? That all is worrisome to me. So hopefully they don't monetize that portion ridiculously hard. A new tour challenge that will actually test your choices and skills. That sounds interesting. Continuation of tiers and the ability to customize your superstar. Again, customization is something I want. Stay tuned for more on this. So that's great. Like I said, to me, this is potentially the most groundbreaking thing we've ever had in Champs. The most the game will ever change in like one moment whenever this gets added. And so I think it's start preparing yourself mentally, right? That the game is going to change. Whether you like it or not, it's changing. So prepare yourself. But so anyway, but evolving how you power up doesn't stop with the hype alone. We're also clearing the path to smarter, smoother progress. Breaking Hall of Fame tokens smashed by Yoko in the Body Slam challenge. This is actually pretty great. As we gear up for exciting new features like the upcoming hype system, we're also streamlining your experience. To keep Superstar evolution smooth, Hall of Fame Superstars will soon use regular tokens. This is awesome. It's so hard to get Hall of Fame tokens. I mean, there's been Hall of Fame characters I've gotten on my free-to-play, and I'm like, oh, that's great, but I can never level them. The switch happens towards the end of the month. Don't worry, we'll reimburse your existing Hall of Fame tokens accordingly. We say sayonara to token clutter and hello to easier evolutions. Big plus, big fan of that. Hall of Fame tokens using regular, so that's great. Also, a skill plate filter update. It's still alive and kicking. The long-awaited skill plate filter is getting the love it deserves. We're feeding it updates, fueling it with electricity, and giving it all the mod snacks it needs to grow strong. Interesting. Okay. Funny, not. Sure, some features may be higher up on the priority ladder, but this one holds a special place in our hearts and a firm spot on our roadmap. So take this news as proof that your coming soon skill plate filter is very much alive. That's huge. It's getting really hard to manage skill plates, so a filter would be great. So that's very welcome. I will actually like this post. I think this is very huge news. Again, guys, to me, the game's going to completely change with the stats because we're all of a sudden talking you don't go first when you're on offense. That's the biggest change. And if they balance it right, it may not matter, right? It's just going to depend how you build, how you play, how you set up, what the characters have in their kit. Basically, every useful card in the game will need reevaluated, to me, is what it sounds like, based on how these stats potentially could work. Again, we have no idea, not tested anything with this, not played anything with this, no idea what they're going to do. But it does seem to me like the game is going to completely change. So let me know what you guys think. Are you interested? Do you think this is dumb? Do you want to just continue to one-click Hulk smash? I don't. I want to play a game and use my brain a little bit, so I'm pretty excited for it. Again, I do want to say it's changing whether you want it to or not. So the faster you get on board, the easier it is to not get left behind. So I'd highly recommend you start preparing yourself for the game to change and start diving into it. As we get more information, as this happens, I'll be making a ton of content on this. This is kind of my thing that I love. So it'll probably make me more interested in the game than I've been in a fair long time, to be truthful with you guys. So I'm excited for it. Can't wait to make content around it. Let me know what you think in the comments, because I do think this is going to be one of those game-changing moments in Champs where one day everything's the same and the next day everything is different. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because it really helps me out. Other than that, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Pretty crazy. This is pretty crazy. Very excited for it, actually.